And welcome back, everyone, to the week of What If. Today's What If comes to us from Razel Draculka. I'm probably butchering that name. I apologize. Razel D for now. And they asked the question, what if normal people knew about androids, Namekians, Saiyans, aliens, basically, even gods? What if they knew about them? And the reason this is a one-shot is I think there's a lot within the culture of Dragon Ball that would change, but not a lot within the actual story that would change. What I mean by that is this. Let's actually just go down the tiers a little bit. Let's start with gods. What if people knew about, like, King Kai, Kami, Beerus, Whis, angels, things along those lines? Well, the fundamental nature, because we don't even know what the religious system of Dragon Ball actually is, we can assume that because it's generally an alternate version of our world, that a couple religions do exist. Like, we know Buddhism exists thanks to, Nami from Dragon Ball. We know the Buddhism is most likely a thing, or Hinduism. We know that, like, crosses exist thanks to, seeing vampires. So we know that Christianity is most likely a religion that exists. Very possible Judaism is also one that exists. So the base religions probably exist within the Dragon Ball Z world, at least on Earth. But if they knew that legitimate gods actually existed, multiple, that would change up that would just say all those religions would collapse, probably. Like, you always will get people who believe, but the entire system of religion for each of those religions would systematically and very quickly just be like, well, we already got actual gods here, so why are we choosing to believe this? Or they would choose to believe that these gods are actually their specific god, and use it as actual evidence of their religion. Like, they would say, oh, Beerus is the Christian god. Oh, King Kai, he's the Jewish god. Buddha is actually Kami. Actually, King Kai had probably a better representation of Buddha. But you know what I mean, is that they'd probably use it as an excuse to justify their religion. So you would most likely get sects of religions, a different sects out of those religions that start to worship these individuals just from different viewpoints, saying, like, the Church of Beerus, of King Kai, of Kami, of the Supreme Kai. But then there's those who are just like, oh, no, you got it wrong, man. It's like, look, no, you see, Jesus, that's Shin. Shin's Jesus, man. And then the guy, his dad, but Big Beerus, so you're going to get all those people who out there who are clearly going to be affected by that in that way. That's the gods, though. The thing about aliens and androids is that around the time of the Saiyan saga, humanity got confirmation that aliens existed, because Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth and pretty much razed an entire city. So, and Nappa wrecked shop with the military. So ever since the Saiyan saga, Earth has pretty much had confirmation that aliens exist. And nothing's really changed with that. Now, if they had confirmation from the beginning, well, honestly, they probably had some level of that from the beginning, because we know Tien is actually descended from a three-eyed race of aliens. That's why he's got the third eye. Chaozu, despite his appearances, most likely isn't human. Or let me rephrase it. Maybe not despite his appearances. Let me actually just look up Chaozu real quick here. Let's see here, Chaozu. What you got going on? Chaozu? Are you human? Because let's be honest, Chaozu Chaozu's most likely human, but he does not look like a human, because it's not. If he's wearing makeup, why is he wearing makeup? Our best guess is that is what he looks like. So let's see here. He's race. His race is human type Earthling. So he looks like a human, probably for all intent and purposes, has the anatomy of a human. However, the human type Earthling, our most common type of Earthlings to appear in series. Statistically, 75% of Earthlings are standard human Homo sapien. Now, that being said, we know there's talking animals. We know there's monsters. We know there are hybrids like Tien Shinhan. So while he is a human type, I guess that's basically saying that he is human. I guess that is what the ultimate implication of that is. Why he looks the way he does, I don't really know. But Chaozu is human for what it is. But we've had basically, other races when mixed in with the Earth, like humanity, for, as long as the Dragon Ball Earth history has kind of begun. So I actually don't think the existence of aliens even early on would be all that shocking to anyone. Maybe it was shocking enough, but nothing that it changes the course of human history in any dramatic way. Saiyans, Namekians, they're just other aliens. They're just other humanoids. So it really doesn't affect the long-term Dragon Ball at all, unfortunately. Now, the android one, because we don't get a lot of androids. And there was confirmation about androids thanks to Cell. Like, humanity knew about it thanks to Cell. But we don't get a lot of confirmation about androids for humanity up until Cell. Because even like 18 and 17 are just going around destroying things. People don't know they're androids. People just think they're superpowered individuals blowing things up. Now, people would come to later find out they're androids a little too late, but still. What if people knew that androids were real? Would that really make that big of a difference? My general feeling on that is probably not. Like, you would get those people say, "Oh, could you make me a servant bot? Oh, could you make me a love?" Like, you might get those people who like want to abuse that. But the problem is, we've only ever seen androids in very minimal capacity made by very few people. The majority of them are made in bulk by the Red Ribbon Army. In fact, I'm trying to think if any of the androids were not made by the Red Ribbon Army. And when we say androids, we're talking about androids and cyborgs, because 17 and 18, are cyborgs, not androids, whereas 16 is an android, so is 19. Duro was a cyborg as well. But 19 was actually an android. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember, were any of the androids that we remember not made by the Red Ribbon Army? Eighter's the Red Ribbon Army. Android, even if we go by the movies, androids 13, 14, and 15 are Red Ribbon. 16 through 20 is Red Ribbon. 21, who was only in the games, that's Red Ribbon. So yeah, I mean, all the androids have only ever been made by the Red Ribbon Army. Now, I guess you could make an argument that maybe some earlier models of even like Ader, so like Ader's Android 8, so there were 7 models before Ader. So you can make an argument maybe like some of the earlier models are running amok a little bit. But even then, I don't see them being all that... I don't see them having any real big impact on the history of Dragon Ball Z. The only real difference, or people having knowledge of all these things would have is the religious and faith aspect. Knowing there are gods would probably change this whole idea of the afterlife, whole idea of belief, whole idea of worship, based on just how these guys act, assuming humanity knows anything about them. So, and like I said, I brought up Beerus, but Beerus would obviously be asleep. Him coming back later to Earth would change things up a bit. But let's be honest, except for Whis, humanity really doesn't know anything about Beerus. Like, most of all of humanity doesn't even know Beerus exists. He only interacted with the Dragon Ball gang. In fact, whenever he comes to Earth, he only ever really interacts with the Dragon Ball gang. Now, Whis has interacted with Bulma and gone out and actually gone to like restaurants and interacted with other people. So Whis has actually interacted with the planet a bit more than Beerus has. Beerus just doesn't give a crap. So, yeah, there might be that little aspect. And maybe through a little bit of talking, they might learn of Beerus. But ultimately, I don't see Whis just randomly saying, "Oh, hello, I'd like to let you know there's a god of destruction who can destroy planets with his little finger named Lord Beerus, and he might come to destroy you if you don't have something good to eat. So be good, for goodness sake. He's like that big fat man in a red suit you like." No, it's not going to be doing that, but I don't know. It fundamentally changes the social structure of the planet. Because, again, it fundamentally changes our religious belief, the way we perceive things. It changes a lot in the lore. It just doesn't do anything to the story as a whole. People might go to like certain people, creators like Jerome, and ask, hey, I'm going to be modified and all this, I'm going to be awesome, but I doubt that's the case. They'd have to first find them, and then you have to be willing to do it, and that's going to take a long time to do. And yeah, I just don't see that happening. Bulma's never made an android in her life, despite her being the smartest, most capable woman on the planet, and one of the most smartest people on the planet, period. One of the smartest people on the planet, period. So ultimately, I just don't see it fundamentally changing much, but that is not to say it doesn't change anything. It just doesn't change anything in terms of the actual story. But that is just my opinion. Sorry if you wanted some long-term what if. That wasn't going to happen with this one. Thanks for watching, though. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know we'll do a review of it at some point. Hit that bell if you want to be notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you folks next time. Have a good one.